So, like I said in the previous recording, anybody who purchased the first category of booster packages that we had, which were referred to as boosters split version 1.0 or simply booster packages, anybody who purchased any of those was already aware of the fact that the payment was only going to last for 12 months. So for the category of booster packages, which we have right now, referred to as booster packages 2.0 or booster 2.0, anybody who purchases any of those packages, like the ones which I showed to you in the previous recordings, if you purchase any of those packages now, those packages or those booster packages are going to last for a lifetime, and they'll be producing for you fractions of Ultima tokens daily, of course, for that lifetime period, like I said. So that is what is so important for us to understand. And then another thing which is important for us to understand is exactly how this distribution, for instance, somebody, let's say A, for instance, here, who was able to purchase the package light, and from this explanation which I did, or from the explanation which I did in the previous recording, I said he who was able to purchase, or him who was able to purchase one split contract, as per the calculations for this particular day, is going to be going home with 0.00066888963. That is the person's reward for this particular day too. It's as simple as that. But how is this quantity going to be given to the person? Of course, all of this is taking place inside what we call the smart wallet. It's an application. It's one of the decentralized applications of the company. So everybody will be expected to install that smart wallet. So all of these calculations are taking place at the level of the company, means that in the system, in the internal system of the company. And then what you are getting every day as a reward, this one here, is actually appearing in your smart wallet, means that you get this reward in your smart wallet. And of course, there's a possibility in the smart wallet for us to be able to track, to know the total quantity of contracts that have been purchased in a particular day. So we have those statistics, or the total number of licenses that have been purchased, as of a particular day. Now, just before I move to that section, I want to, first of all, remind you, make you understand that here, when you do the purchase of the license by freezing a certain quantity of Ultima tokens, the quantity of Ultima token I already explained in the previous recording as well, how the distribution of the fractions of Ultima tokens is done for each, package, or for each license that was purchased. So this other one has to do with just the contract section, the purchase of the contracts, how the evaluation is done for those who actually eventually purchased, the contracts. How is the distribution done? This is exactly how the distribution is done. I've done an elaborate explanation on that. Now, for the purchase of the licenses, I've also done an elaborate explanation on that in the previous recording. So it's very, very important for us to keep these two methods of, receiving these rewards daily in mind. Now, everything can actually be traced inside this smart wallet. This, for instance, these are some of the statistics that we can actually get from all the explanations I just made, previously, or in the previous recordings inside a smart wallet, meaning that this is possibly the smart wallet of somebody, an individual. This person was able to purchase a booster license. For instance, if you see a price per one booster, this is booster version 2.0, like I said, earlier on. So let us study what this represents. Here, you see my frozen split. This simply means that this person was able to purchase a contract. That's after purchasing a license, because it is impossible to purchase a contract without purchasing the license first, because it's the license that is going to tell you the maximum capacity of the contract that you are going to buy, or that you can possibly purchase under that license. So this person definitely has purchased, the contract, and it's as a result of the purchase of that contract that he was able to get these 0.048 booster splits. These are booster splits here. This fraction represents booster splits. So inside the system, as of this particular day, the system is now telling us that the total number of frozen booster splits, globally, everywhere around the world, for those that have actually purchased, those various packages and have received booster splits, the total quantity stands at 1,819.21437. This is the total number, or the total quantity of booster splits that the system is registering within its liquidity pool, the liquidity pool that is managing booster splits. This is the total quantity of splits inside. So This person who owns this wallet, this is the total quantity of booster splits that the person owns inside this total amount of 1,819. So his own quantity inside this total is just this one, 0.048. And how many Ultima tokens are coming out of this delegated liquidity pool? Just 5, like I said. Daily reward is 5, meaning that 5 Ultima tokens are divided to all of these people who are seen through these various booster splits, which means that you're going to divide 5 divided by the total number of booster splits inside the system as of this day. So if you do a division of 5 by 1,819 point this, it is going to give you this fraction here, this 0.002741 or 48. That is simply telling you that inside this total amount, anybody who was able to contribute in here up to one full booster, or anybody who was able to get at least one full booster split, then that person will be going home this particular day with this quantity of Ultima tokens. And this quantity of Ultima tokens at the time when this screenshot was taken, depending on the price in the market of one Ultima token, because it shows that one Ultima token price in the market as of that time was equivalent to 13 point, one booster split, one booster split as of that time in the market was equivalent to this quantity of Ultima tokens, which represented $13.70, which means that the price per one booster split as of that moment was capable of attracting just a maximum of 0.002748. That's after this calculation here, 5 divided by this quantity. That is the quantity, the fraction of Ultima tokens that somebody with one full booster split is going to get. And at that time, following the price of one Ultima token in the market, this fraction was corresponding to $13.70. Then this person who has just 0.048, which is less than one full booster split, what is going to be the person's own benefit? So this one here is simply information that is telling you that one full booster split, anybody one full booster split is going to be going home with this quantity of Ultima tokens, which represented this amount in dollars. It doesn't mean that this amount of money is what is going to be paid to the owner of this wallet. No. The owner of this wallet, what is going to be his own payment for today? This is his own payment is going to come from this quantity that the person has out of this total. So you are going to multiply this 0.048 by this quantity, which corresponds to one full booster. But the person has just a small fraction of one full booster, which corresponds to this. So if you multiply this quantity by this quantity in terms of Ultima token, then you will now see the quantity that the person is going to get, and that quantity is going to be standing here for the person. So you will now see what the person is going to get, and that amount is going to be standing here. But if you look at this value, don't look at this value which is here now. Why? Because this person here, remember, this evaluation that I'm saying is an evaluation for one day. But from what we see in this wallet, it shows that this person has accumulated profit for several days. That's why you see this value is as high as 0.00312. It means that the person has done accumulation of rewards. It's not like the person is obliged to be withdrawing the profit that is getting to the person's wallet every day. So that equally means that you are at liberty to accumulate your rewards. But the accumulation you are doing shouldn't go beyond 5 days. Maximum should be 5 days. If you accumulate for more than 5 days, then you might probably be cheating yourself again, because there's a daily recalculation that is done. It might affect even what you already had inside. If you have the possibility of doing your claimings every blessed day, you can go ahead to do it. But before you go ahead to claim the rewards, you must check your energy level. The energy level is very important, without which you'll be spending a lot on what we call the gas fee. Now, if you want to understand that, if you want to understand more about that, do well to watch the recordings, which I did on how to exploit the smart wallet, how to claim your benefits every blessed day. There's a recording for that, where I'll be doing a lot of, in fact, in which I did a lot of, explanations on how to configure the wallet. And equally inside, there's an explanation on the various elements that you see here concerning the wallet. This one is just a small section of the wallet. There are other compartments of this wallet. So if you want to understand all the features of the wallet, do well to watch that particular recording. So what is going to happen is, for instance, this person has been able to do accumulations for a certain number of days. So this is his total, the total quantity of Ultima tokens the person has accumulated, maybe for several days. and it represents at that time following the price of one Ultima token in the market. At the time when the screenshot was taken, it shows that that is equivalent to maybe 1.56. Probably this accumulation was an accumulation done for 2 days, maybe, or for 3 days, or for 4 days. But remember, what you are receiving per day, like I already explained previously, what you receive as a benefit today will not be exactly the same quantity that you receive as benefit tomorrow. It will not be the exact quantity that you receive maybe the day after. Why? Because as days are passing by, this quantity here keeps increasing because more people are joining the business and purchasing licenses as well as contracts and so on. Or even you, for instance, probably as days are passing, you are equally increasing your number of licenses and maybe number of contracts and so on and so forth. I've already explained that previously. So that you don't go to do calculations of the type, maybe you evaluate what this person is going to make as profit today or as a reward today, then you multiply it by several days. No, what you get as a reward per day is not always the same as what you got as a reward the previous day, or what you're going to get the next day will not necessarily be what you got today or what you got previously. Because if this amount here, if this price keeps changing, then definitely this quantity to what you'll be receiving daily also is going to be changing, and usually it's going to be on the decrease, like I already explained. But the advantage to that is that the price of the Ultima token is going to be increasing on the market. Now, another thing which is important for us to understand is that those who actually started off with this company, maybe sometime back, let's say about 3 years, those who came in about 3 years, the company, first of all, had a certain technology which is called the farming technology. Now, with the farming technology, there were some shortcomings that were noticed. It means that the company actually faced a lot of challenges with that particular, method, with that particular technology. Why? Because the company gave us that technology for us to be able to produce the Ultima tokens for ourselves. Means that you were at liberty to produce any quantity of Ultima tokens that you wanted, and then you send them to the market, you sell them off. But we realized that the more people were joining the business and creating also their own Ultima tokens and taking them to the market, we realized that at some point the market became too overflooded with those Ultima tokens, means that the supply going to the market became too high against the demand, meaning that we had a weak demand against a huge supply. And from the formula I showed you above, if the demand is very small or is constant and the supply is extremely very high or is always on the increase, the truth be told, the price of that particular asset is going to be coming down. So that was the major difficulty we faced with this particular technology. So the company now sat down, brought up another technology which was going to do the contrary of this. And that is the technology we are dealing with now, which is called splitting. So with this splitting technology, the advantage is that the more people are joining the business, you can see it here, the more people are joining the business, the smaller will be the quantity of Ultima tokens that each person can be able to produce and send to the market. You already saw that in the previous explanations. So the more people are joining, remember the quantity of Ultima token that goes to the market every blessed day through this liquidity pool is what? 5. Only 5 Ultima tokens go to the market. So even if we have up to 1 billion people who are joining the business, or 20 billion, once this number of people come in, the maximum quantity of Ultima tokens that will be shared to everybody proportionately, meaning proportionally to the number of Ultima tokens they have frozen against their licenses, contracts, and the rest, it will not be more than 5. So everybody will take a fraction out of that 5. That simply tells you that even if everybody were to take their fractions to the market, the total quantity of Ultima tokens we can find in the market every blessed day as new Ultima tokens going to the market cannot be more than 5. Yet the demand is always on the increase. Now you realize that the quantity going to the market is moderated. And this 5 is subjected to what we call halvings. Meaning that at the moment, we actually have only 5 Ultima tokens that are shared to everybody. There is a halving that will be taking place in the next two months, or should I say in the next 3 months. In the month of February, we are going to be having another halving, which means that from that particular day when the halving is going to take place, henceforth, the quantity of Ultima tokens that will be coming out from each pool that will be shared to everybody will just be half of 5, which is what? Which is 2. So we'll have just 2 Ultima tokens that will be shared. Only 2 Ultima tokens will be shared. Now, when I say 5 divided by 2, normally it's 2.5. But actually, the quantity that will be shared is just 2. It will not be 2.5. It's not really a direct When they talk of the halving, it's not directly in terms of mathematics. No, it's a way of telling you that there's going to be a reduction almost by half. So it's only two Ultima tokens that will be coming out from that pool. That is the way the system has been designed. Then 6 months again, 6 months later, there is going to be another halving, meaning that instead of 2 Ultima tokens shared to everybody in that pool, only 1 Ultima token is going to be shared. So only 1 Ultima token henceforth is going to be shared from that moment. And then it's going to end like that. There will be no more halving. Once we attain 1 Ultima token distribution every day, it's going to stay like that for a lifetime. So every day, only 1 Ultima token will be coming out and shared to everybody. But remember, people will keep joining the business every day. But people will keep benefiting from fractions coming out from that same 1 Ultima token. Now, that simply tells you that, like you see here, the more people are joining, the lesser the possibility of an individual getting a huge quantity of Ultima tokens, so much so that the person can take upon himself to go to the market and saturate the market with those Ultima tokens. So with this particular technology, splitting technology, everything, the market is actually moderated, made in such a way that there will hardly be a time when the market is really too oversaturated with Ultima tokens as compared to this previous technology, whereby people had the possibility to produce any quantity of Ultima tokens that they want and send to the market. So that's one big advantage that we need to understand, that is actually surrounding this particular Ultima token. Now, for those of you who are networkers, if you want to understand the network marketing component of this particular business, please make sure that you watch the next recording, because the next recording is actually expatiating more on the network marketing component of this business. And trust me, the network marketing component is crazy. It's a type that has never existed in the world. You'll be so marveled by the time you take your time and you watch through it from the beginning to the very end. It's going to project you again to another level. It's going to create another stream of lifetime cash flow for yourself. If you take your time, you watch that particular recording from the beginning to the end, you'll be so amazed at what you see as a compensation plan for this particular project. Thank you so much for watching. Do well to make sure you watch the recording on the marketing plan of the company. Thank you very much.